Hey everybody, Cole Sheriff here for another edition of the Sound of Texas podcast. We're so happy to be here at Heim Barbecue in Weatherford, and today we are talking to Mr. Sam Anderson of the Quaker City Nighthawks. We're going to talk about life on the road for them and what it's like being without a record label. Let's have some fun out here, and thank you for listening to the Sound of Texas podcast, a worldwide ranch production. It is a beautiful afternoon here at Heim Barbecue, sitting here with Mr. Sam Anderson of Quaker City Nighthawks. How we doing, my brother?
Doing wonderful.
Man, you've had an interesting year. Got that Taylor Sheridan play.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me what that's done for y'all.
Man, it's been great so far. I think the whole city of Fort Worth's kind of, buzzed with all the Sheridan stuff going on, and it's cool to just have a little part in it.
Yeah.
All the placements are good. When I first started playing music, if you'd have told me the main way you make money at it is getting songs in TV shows and movies and stuff like that, I wouldn't have believed it. I thought you just have to play 700 dates a year, but
700 dates in 365.
Yeah, right.
Year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a busy year.
Pulling
what
double
song was on Landman?
We had Better in the Morning.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the first time that one's been placed in something.
Okay. And then you've got placement ready on a lot of your tunes, man. I mean, a lot of rockin' tunes just ready to be in, fighting somebody or
yeah.
some kind of scene like that. Tell me about writing these tunes, man.
Oh, man. So David Matzler and I are the two primary writers. And, we actually don't really co-write that much together. He'll have something and send it to me, and, I'll kind of give feedback or something and vice versa. But usually we kind of write on our own and kind of bring it together to the band.
Yeah.
This new lineup we have, which is our favorite lineup that we've ever had, we've been in the studio, and it's been more of a collaborative effort writing this time more so than any other time we've had. So
yeah.
I'm excited about that. We got Jordan Richardson and on drums and Maxwell Smith on bass, and they're both songwriters, multi-instrumentalists,
yeah.
so that helps a ton. So.
Latest record came out pre-COVID.
Yes.
What's the dynamic post-COVID trying to put something together?
Man, it's so what's great is we just got out of a record contract. We fulfilled all the albums we had on that one, and this time we're gonna put everything out ourselves.
Yeah.
So what's been great is just having our own timeline, not having to, whereas before the first 3 records, you have this many days blocked off in the studio that you got to get everything done. And this time, we'll go in, work on a song till we get tired of it, switch to another one, do that for like a week, and then let it sit for a while and marinate, and then, come back and work on it another time. So the timeline's been way less stressful, so I feel like that's better for creativity.
You feel like a real sense of freedom when it comes to that?
Yes. You're not like under the gun. There's a lot to be said for, getting stuff done in 2 weeks, like the pressure is it kind of, pushes things forward and stuff like that. But this has just been a lot more relaxed, and you can try a lot more stuff because you're not worried about running out of time.
Well, and that gives you more creative room as well.
Yeah.
You're not on a time crunch, not trying to put something together like, hey, we got to do this and it has to be done now.
Yeah.
You have limited takes because you've only got so much time allotted to you in the studio. Tell me about kind of being on your own and how that's working out for y'all as a group.
It's been going great so far. And like I said, just not that we necessarily hated everything about, being with the record label and stuff like that. It's just, like I said, kind of getting to go at our own timeline has been helpful. Getting to try weird stuff that we normally wouldn't be able to try. If we want to run vocals through a organ Leslie cab, we can try it. And
Give it a shot.
If it doesn't work, we don't use it. But, whereas, when you're on a time constraint, there's certain stuff like that kind of gets deprioritized.
Yeah. I mean, it's like singing through a guitar pickup.
Yeah.
Who would have thought to do that except, Lane?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl,
Yeah.
We'll try anything twice.
I dig that. What's coming up for y'all?
So we're working on, main priority is getting this music kind of wrapped up, and I think we're just going to start releasing singles as they're done. So and then once we have everything out for a full album, we'll put that out. So
it seems like kind of the move these days.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, the days of just putting the record out kind of seem like they're coming to an end.
Right.
What do you think might be the cause of something like that?
Well, just the way people consume music now has changed so much, just even in the last 10 years since, I think we've been a band for about 15 years now, and just since the beginning to now, when you'd start out, you'd put out an EP or something, which was code for we don't have enough money to pull out full albums. But now, everything is so much more digestible, whereas, it's in smaller chunks. People are putting out a single or even like a single and a B-side or something like that. So vinyl kind of changed a lot of it too, the vinyl craze that kind of happened in like the 2010 era where everyone started wanting that more. CDs kind of started falling by the wayside, since they stopped putting them in cars, CD players in cars. So, but, just especially with streaming stuff like that, and, there's big controversy with how artists get paid and stuff like that. So I think musicians are trying to adapt as quickly as, the streaming services are adapting. And it's a chore, but, I feel like it's been that way since the beginning of time in music. It's from the invention of recording to now. So,
do you feel like the importance of adaptation is as important these days? Because you've got guys like Sturgill just put out Mutiny After Midnight.
Yeah.
Physical copies only.
Yeah. And I think, I definitely think it is. And, I think everything in this world it progresses exponentially, So I think the further along we get into everything, adapting is going to be key. And, when you get to a point like where Sturgill's at, you can kind of make the industry come to you.
Right.
And, that's a special place to be in. You don't get there without putting in the work and, having the authenticity that somebody like Sturgill has.
Getting screwed by a record company or two, that'll drive you to do something like that.
And I don't think there's been a good record deal in the history of record deals. So there's just worse ones. So.
Look out for the record man. That's pretty much what Sam's saying here. They can help you get your word out, get your music to a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's a money transaction.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not asking you to tell the story, but I know that you know that more than a lot of folks would.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think what I'd like to see happen a lot more is there's a lot of these people offering label services without the record contract.
Yeah.
So, and what I mean by label services is like, give you some money to go out on tour or distribution. That's a big thing, getting it in stores, getting it out there, promotion and stuff like that, without taking, the 360 deal where you don't make money till they make theirs back type thing. So I'd like to see a lot more of that if it's going to work that way. The label services are definitely the main thing you need, out of a record contract. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that, a little less predatory on the towards the artist side. A lot of times the musician's the last person on the totem pole getting paid as the money starts filtering in. So that always has kind of seemed a little bit backwards to me, but what do I know?
Yeah. It's cheap to put your music out on a streaming platform. It costs little to nothing, as opposed to if you're doing physical copies. CDs don't cost a whole lot, but people aren't buying them these days. Records cost a lot of money to
Vinyl's
produce,
expensive,
just to cut a record and to press a record. Tell me about how you've been kind of navigating the new age of consuming music.
Yeah. Man, what's great is, with us kind of being out on our own right now, pretty much everyone that's working on this record are people we've worked with before or they're in the band. So we've been recording at Electric Berryland Studios up in Justin, kind of by the Speedway. And our drummer, Jordan, has ran that studio for years now.
That helps.
And with his buddy Barry Eaton. So, just getting in there and doing that kind of makes us a little more, it's a little bit easier to put out stuff, like you were saying, in smaller doses where we can go in, get 2 or 3 done, start putting those out, and then move on to something else. So, but just having that, Jordan owning the studio, he's engineering everything. We're all co-producing it. So the mixing and mastering is getting done in-house, so that just makes your timeline quicker for when you are done and you want to get it out. So.
Right. I mean, everything is up to you at that point, from cover art to release date to content.
Yeah.
It's all up to you. Do you find that makes it easier or harder to put a record out?
It's more work, but we enjoy it. You know, we always kind of liked having say in everything,
All aspects,
all
yeah.
especially all creative aspects of it. You know, we want to, you know, we want it to look the way we want to look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know looks aren't all important, but they are important. You know, how people perceive, you know, the first thing they see is the artwork. You know,
Yeah.
so, but I've just been enjoying getting to work just in house with everybody, so everyone has a say in it.
A lot of guys riding around in $200,000 buses. Tell me about the Triton V10.
The Triton V10, man. We've done laps around the United States in that thing. So the amount of gas money we've pumped into that thing. So, but man, it did a hell of a job for us for a long time. You know, we're not in that anymore, but I still have it. You know, I can't bring myself to get rid of it. You know, but yeah, we've, you know, first time coming through the Holland Tunnel, pulling into Manhattan in a 15-passenger van, pulling a 6x12 double axle trailer as a kind of a white knuckle experience. So
it's not like driving through downtown Fort
yeah,
Worth with that thing.
not the same.
I mean,
the same.
There's got to be 1,000 stories from that van.
Oh
man.
my goodness, yeah. Just you know, from I think one time coming through, I think there's like called the 4th of July Pass. You're coming from like Washington into Montana, kind of cutting through that little skinny part of Idaho, and man, it was closed down the day before we were supposed to head to Montana from an avalanche, and they opened it the morning we left, and I'm not sure if they should have, because we, you know, we had snow tires and everything like that, but you know, you get these 18-wheelers chained up going past you
doing
at
80.
the regular speed limit, you know, and I'm sitting there like this, shaking
White
the whole
knuckling
time,
doing
just
60.
just trying to keep it on the road. So
Yeah. Is that kind of like a cherished member of the band almost?
oh yeah, for sure. That's lasted longer than some of the members of the band have, for sure.
That's a beautiful thing, man. You know, your transportation is the biggest part of being on the road. You know, that the people that you're with and the food that you eat, there's not many more variables, because when you're on the road, you know, sometimes it feels repetitive. You know, you pull into the city, you load in, you do the sound check, you hope the catering's good, you do the show, and then it's load out and it's back in that van, man.
That's what we call that van, the character builder.
Yes.
That's where you pay in dues, and I guess dues right now look like, I'm seeing the gas station over there, dues look like about $3.69
$3.69 a gallon.
So.
Yeah. You got AC in that thing?
It has AC.
Shoot.
Pumps cold. Pumps
You're
cold.
all good,
Yeah.
man. So you're pulling the trailer behind it, and then you're just loading everybody up in it.
Oh yeah.
Any gear end up in the back of that van?
So yeah, so man, we figured out after the first time we told you we drug that trailer into Manhattan.
Yeah.
We
Good
figured
luck
out real
parking
quick.
that thing,
next
too.
next time we went and got a hotel in New Jersey that had gated parking. Drop the trailer, pull the seats out of the van, shove everything in the back, and then drive into the city and do it that way. That makes for a much less chaotic scene whenever you're trying to do that.
So in that case, have you turned a 15-passenger van into a 8-passenger van?
Yeah, for sure. We keep the back two seats out of it. When we were still in that thing, we'd pull the back two seats out of it, because we weren't traveling with crew back then. You know, like we'd have like a tour manager and a merch guy, so it wasn't but 6 of us in there. So, but yeah, we'd usually pull those back two out, and then if it was a run that we could make it happen without the trailer, we'd definitely try it.
Yeah.
So.
And man, like you said, the van's a character builder.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be cool. You can't snore, kind of thing.
Well, that ain't happening. But
well, somebody's gonna snore.
Jordan and I, we room together because we're the snorchestra chamber, and
is that right?
our room. So
is that right?
We get to room together, and then Maxwell and David, who don't snore quite as much, if ever. So we let them kind of have the peaceful room, and then it's a race to see between Jordan and I can go to sleep first before we start snoring. So.
Man, when I was on the road, I had this stagehand that rolled with me. His name is Austin Hayden. Austin, that one's for you. But he used to snore like a freight train. And my thing was, if he fell asleep before me, I would always just pound my fist on the nightstand as hard as I could. It would wake him up, and hopefully that gave me enough time where I could fall asleep before
Hopefully
you would.
that buys you about 3 or 4 minutes before it's back to it.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Tell me a little about what's coming up next for you, man.
So, with that new music coming out, we're going to start playing again a lot more. David, I mentioned the other lead singer and the lead guitar player in the band. He was living up in Colorado for a while, and they just moved back down here to Texas. They're in Austin now, so that makes, doing shows a little bit easier, when we're all spread out like that. For a while, Jordan's back and forth from L.A. and back, and then David was either in Nashville or in Colorado, and then Max and I are down here. So just him being, only 3 hours away is definitely opened a lot more. It makes it easier to go play Austin for sure, too.
Yeah, definitely.
And, we can do a little bit more last-minute stuff in Fort Worth and Texas like that, a lot of times we'd need months in advance to plan for travel. This way we can, kind of take a few more opportunities than we were able to when we were spread out.
To kind of close out, talking about the Texas music scene, you grew up here in this scene. You and Jinx just kind of rolling together. Tell me about what it's like to be able to grow up in this Texas scene that we cherish so much.
Man, it's been great. I feel like our band, people have always kind of had a hard time placing us where we're supposed to be. We play, Red Dirt Country festivals, and then we go on tour with metal bands like Corrosion of Conformity and Crowbar and stuff like that. So we kind of cast a wide net, but I think that's kind of what Texas has always been about. Like you got, it all kind of falls under that Texas genre, but you got ZZ Top, and then this new outlaw country stuff like that, and the big debate over who's an actual outlaw or not. I think the only laws some of these people are breaking are copyright laws, but I guess that makes you an outlaw the same.
I suppose so.
But I grew up with Cody Jinks. Our parents were friends since before I was born. My dad performed Cody's wedding. He's brother John in the Cody Jinks song.
Yeah.
Yep, that's him. I think he's here somewhere right now. But just growing up around that. And Cody, when he first moved back from California, when he was trying his metal band out there.
Yeah.
And, we were living at a house kind of close to Roanoke, and we recorded probably about half those songs that he's put out in the last 2 or 3 albums. We first demoed them in a garage studio in our house. So been familiar with those songs for a long time. And, as much as he helped me out in my career, especially at the beginning, like taking me out to shows, letting me open up, and
crashing his truck.
Yeah, I did. I might have wrecked his truck a little bit. I'm sorry, Rebecca. I already wrote you a note for that. I apologize. But it's still running. We got it home.
Hey, we're good.
We got it home from Oklahoma City. Wasn't that bad. But yeah, just, and the people I got to meet just through working with Cody and watching him, it wasn't an overnight meteoric rise.
Yeah.
That guy's been beating down
He's
the
been
pavement for a long time.
I've seen
now.
pictures of him playing Bronson Rock.
Oh,
the first place that I ever played.
Well, that's where me and him used to play. We'd do Bronson Rock, a little place called Crow Creek Tavern in Watauga. And it was, tiny little place, but we had like a weekly song swap up there.
Yeah. So
that's kind of where I cut my teeth, was hopping in his truck and just going, where are we going today?
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's awesome, man. Sam, we appreciate you.
hey, thank you so much, Cole.
When that new Quaker City tunes come out, man, make sure that we get them here at the ranch.
Absolutely.
And we're excited to see what it does for you.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
My man. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Sound of Texas podcast, and thank you to Sam Anderson for joining us. Heim Time here in Weatherford at Heim Barbecue is every Tuesday nights. It's a singer-songwriter showcase that I am proud to host. Come on out and see us, and thank you for listening to the Sound of Texas podcast, a worldwide ranch production.